There is a biblical saying that says, train up your child in the way it should go, and when they grow up, they will not depart away from it. Now, there is another one that says, children are the heritage of the Lord, who are in the custody of their earthly parents, and they would give an account of how those children are trained. But I have a question. Is there a manual to parenting? These and many more questions are what we are going to be talking about on this episode of The Delivery Room. My name is Semidayo Anthony, and you know I don't do this alone. No, I've got my people, and I heard you so swell. Yeah. I've got the full house. I've got my people here in the studio, starting from... He changed position today. Nakel Medina.
Life, there's a lot of changes, so you just have to adapt the way it goes.
And as it says,
hello everyone.
Change is the only constant thing.
Absolutely, baby.
I have a Beeb here. Beeb, looking all greenish.
Yeah. I'm Nigerian. I'm flying Nigerian.
We're on the same level.
Yeah. Good to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. And of course, Kenny, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, great to have you here. All right, so my intro initially talked about manual to parenting. Is there anything like manual to parenting? Starting up with Nakel, because you are a family man.
Absolutely.
You have a son.
And it's good to be.
Yeah, you're a proud married man.
Absolutely.
You're proud of you.
Every day.
Let's talk about parenting. What's your take on parenting generally?
Like you said, if there is a manner, there's no template for how to bring up a child. Being a parent entails many things. It entails your own psychological being always at alert, and knowing what is right and what is wrong for your child. Not leaving the parenting aspect, not subjecting it to somebody whom you think is perfect or their opinion override yours. So there are things to put in place which will help you, or the way you want your child to come up. You have to put things in place to mold the child in that way.
So no manual for parenting?
There is no template for parenting at all. The society, the environment will tell you how to go about it.
Or your personal understanding?
Absolutely.
Viv, we're looking at 21st century parenting and the 80s.
Yeah.
You're a child born in the 80s, I would say.
I'm an 80s baby.
You're an 80s baby. What's your take about the parenting back then and what we have now?
I think that there's a shift, and there's a shift because, well, the world changes. There's an evolution of ideas, of things, of people, there's new technology, there's different ways of living now that was not available back then. So I think it is more challenging to be a parent now than it was then. And I think it is more, you have so many things to juggle aside parenting now. You have to look for a way to feed your child. You have to also maintain your own I don't know how to put it, maybe psychological or emotional stand. Like you need to be all right on your own to be able to be a parent. And then you're struggling with that. You're trying to make ends meet. You're struggling with living in Lagos. You're struggling with supporting Man U, and you still have to take care of your child. It's a lot. There's a whole lot of things to
supporting Man U bring a lot of problems. So I think that is
you think of Arsenal. Oh, come on.
Okay, no, this is not a football discussion. No, we choose not to go to that field. Kenny, your take on 21st century parenting and the 80s, or parenting generally?
Okay, yeah. For the 80s kind of parenting, that is what I would call the traditional style of parenting, and for the 21st century, that is what I would call the modern type of parenting. Both of them are the same, but along the line they change, because for the traditional kind of parenting, the focus was majorly about raising child, emotionally, mentally, raising child with good morals, raising children with was on good work ethics, and so many other stuff with good characters and the rest. And of course, for the traditional, for the modern, they are more flexible, because they want to want the children to be free, to be themselves. They want to nurture them to express themselves individually, freely. And that is what we have today. And especially with the rise of technology, a lot of things have changed. We have to adapt to that kind of system. So, and it's quite difficult, yes, because of the, back in the days of our forefathers, when you're talking to your parents, it's one-on-one. Now, in the age that we have today, if you're going out with someone, you have to text your parent that you're going out. When back in those days, we do it one-on-one.
And you can't even look them in the eye.
Exactly. And even back in those days, I can go to you if you are my neighbor. Mama, but now you can't even take your child to the neighbor because you don't even know the kind of neighbor that you have. You can't, those things have changed because of technology. We don't even know who the neighbors in talk less you want to change. Neighbors can train your child back in the 80s, but not now because a lot of things have changed. You don't know who your neighbors is. And it's not easy with the rise in technology, but we need to learn how to adapt in order for the sake of these children. So that's...
Well, all right, so recently, on social media, we have a story about a CHRISLAND girl that has been ongoing for about a week now. And there has been back and forth, arguments, reactions, comments, people giving here and there and all. In parenting. Now, let me take this question rather. Now, social media, to us, you are parents, we are intending parents. Is social media a blessing or a curse to this generation?
It's absolutely a blessing. It depends how it's being used. Many people these days, they make use of their gadgets, their phones, while they don't even know to what extent they can use that gadget. I have a son who uses an Android phone, but for my own phone, I control whatever he uses his phone for. There's what we call family link. Whatever my son wants to do on his phone, whenever he click there, even if I'm far away, assuming my child is in Nigeria, I'm in Dubai, whatever I click there, I will get a notification on my phone. If I don't approve it, it will not work on his phone. Now, people are going into, I've heard many people talking about you don't give kids phone. You see, everybody now is a motivational speaker. Everybody now wants to jump up anything trending. I've heard a pastor talking about not giving kids phones. I've heard about many people coming online claiming to be elder. They've seen things. When these people are not technologically inclined. We have kids of 7 years, 5 years, kids of 7, 8, 9, 10, learning coding these days. Whatever they learn, they reciprocate it on their phone, on their guardian, on their tablet. What are you going to do with that? They are saying children should not go on internet. No. This is a blessing. That is why we keep glamoring the Western world. They are improving. Their kids are so smart. What made them smart? Is because of this internet. Though they have wayward kids there. But it's all about how you handle it. What do you expose? Even, let me tell you, most of all these kids, what they go online to search is what they've seen that is being practicalized. You will see a father that have a child, a female child, will be wearing a boxer in a child that is going into puberty, a child of 8 going to 10. All these kids, their brain is so sharp these days. You see parents bringing the kind of friends they bring to their home. Says a lot to what their children are going online to find. And most of all these people, we have cable these days. Most of you are so adapted. You even see parents encouraging their children to watch BB Nigeria, to watch many
other
reality
reality
programs.
Yeah.
These children want to reciprocate that thing. They are going online. You understand? So it's more like a cable. When you subscribe at home, there are ways to control which of these your kids watch and which they don't.
But then the level of knowledge of the parents also determine. You can do that because you have the knowledge. Let me move on to Abi.
Yeah.
Is social media a blessing or a curse to us?
I think it's both. And the reason it's both is that, like you said, there are a world of opportunities out there that kids can learn while growing on social media, on internet. Don't let me restrict it to social media. On the internet, there's a whole lot of development that a child can go through, even without going to the school, except for maybe socialization process of mixing with other kids. That's what school is needed for. These days, you can sit at home and train your kid what to learn specifically on the internet. So it is a blessing in that regard. But then it is also a curse because it poses a lot of challenges to the parents. Now, look at the parent that does not even know that there's something called a porn site. how would you check it if you don't know? A parent that does not even know that kids can even
code their messages.
Yes, can code their messages, can write in abbreviations and all of that. So it is a course, and then also there's the part of where parents need to groom kids that would be able to compete out there. A kid that would how do I say it? A kid
March
that
into
would,
the world we have now.
yes, that would
Fitting.
be a perfect fit for this current
Generation.
That would not be a leftover.
And with that, you can't take off internet.
Of course. So if you take off internet from that, you find out that the kid might not like it would not.
Yeah.
Because I also believe that on the other side, on the other hand, I believe that the most important thing a child needs while growing is the value. All these other things can be acquired much later. The values,
value comes from home.
Yes, that value, that strong bond with values like issues of contentment, issues of being honest, morals, and all of that. I think that is very, very important at a grooming age. Forget coding; you can learn coding later. Forget all of those. That is what
your own opinion.
I think.
Your own opinion. I get that. So Kenny, on to you. Social media, a blessing or a curse?
Yeah, I don't like the idea when people like to blame social media for everything. It's a problem. I don't like it. See, the problem is social media isn't the problem. The problem is the actions that you take on social media. That is the one key thing. So, and I feel like a lot of parents don't understand that. It says something about parents who are not observant or who are not aware of this kind of thing. If you're not aware, please ask questions. That is the key thing. Ask questions. If you can't ask questions, you don't have an idea of it, don't get them phone at all. So until when you feel that you're ready and they're old enough to be able to handle the internet on its own, then give them that access. But social media, you need to know your way around it. Like I said, it's a blessing if you know your way around it because you get to connect to the world, get to connect with people, and that is what is most important.
To buttress what Kenny said, you see, I want to use Nigeria as a case study. There's a saying that says you can't eat your cake and have it. Now, everyone wants to blame the internet. Just like Kenny said, internet is not the problem. It's the content on it. But in Nigeria, we have people that are role model, that are even the one corrupting the internet. But when people want to blame, when people want to penalize them for any bad habit they put out there, you will see people rising up to protect them. Now, when the kids seeing these people as role model, reciprocate what these people have done, you will start blaming the internet. Who is to be blamed?
Because that's where they saw it from.
Yeah, because that is who are those putting all these things online?
Well, I have a slide. You've seen situations where some celebrities will come and say, "I'm not your role model. I'm living my life."
Yeah, they said it, but can you take it away? You know, I have many people that before the coming of the like of Naira Marley, they use beds. But immediately Naira Marley come onto the scene, most of them even burnt their belts. It's because they love Naira Marley. Yes. You see some people, many people these days, because of the style of Portable, many of them have gone to do that. It's not your own right to say who fall in love with you. Immediately they take off on you. They want to reciprocate whatever you've done. And whatever you've done is either going to affect them morally or the other way.
This is why I mentioned earlier that the value is more important than ability to use internet or ability to be able to compete, because I think that even getting your kid a phone is just so that the kid can be better or can belong among
they have many things, maybe because let me tell you.
No, I'm just saying
kids they bring in their own work, you understand, to even do their
yes. I agree.
Okay, so on that part, I think I have an issue with that. Okay. Because going by our 80s parenting, we used to have homework. We used to do it without the advent of social media.
No, don't. I don't think you should put them both in the
same new system now.
Then it's a new system, so you are bound to go online.
Because
the syllabus are changing. They are changing.
Don't you know that we don't learn computers?
Exactly.
But this day they do.
They do.
There is a wide range. There is a limit to how we were asked to, or the question we were asked, or information we were asked to bring back to school. But this day you even see primary school students asking them to bring information about Western world, about where are they going to get it? And the problem again, don't let us take this away. Look around us. Can you even find library? In those days, we still find library around where people go into
Now,
to
is it
get
online
information.
like
All right,
Whatever
so you
information
have-
you want to go to now, you go back to the internet.
All right, so
you
you drop my points there. You form my hand fully, my points and everything. Because I was going to say that back in the days we don't have internet, but then we do assignments and there are no issues. Now
it's a lot easier now.
the excuse most of these children give nowadays is the fact that they want to have their assignments done online, and you know how it is. Now, internet does not know who is holding the phone.
Yeah.
A child could have a phone.
Yeah.
Some things can start popping up, some adverts, some videos can start popping up.
that is
And
okay.
because children are quite inquisitive, they have this curiosity. They want to go ahead. They want to ask questions. They want to see what is in front of them. They go ahead, they click, and then they are seeing things.
Yeah.
So-
But then, how do you, when you see all of these things, how do you now know, oh, this is wrong, this is right, this is not good? My mom must not see this, my dad must not see this. I don't need this, I don't need to do that. Those are the things.
That's what
those
we're
are
talking
the
about
things.
parenting part.
Those are the most important.
You have to be more of a friend to your children. Don't be too strict. Let them communicate with you and know the company of friends they keep. Though they too, they are human, you cannot absolutely monitor them. And that is when Habib was talking about moral. It is very, very important. The way you mold from beginning. You see, concerning this issue of the CHRISLAND girl, the way the society, people, the government react to issue in this country is always annoying. Because when I see that sometimes, I see the way people always take issues. It is very funny. When issue happened, there are ways to come about it.
Okay. What ways?
Yes,
Remember,
ma'am.
we are dealing with minors here,
Yeah,
and that's
we
why
can't
there
take
are
it
so many
away
harsh
that
reactions.
they are minors. But at the same time, the attitude should be cross-checked. Are the behavior they put up, is it a minor behavior? No, it's because they've gone wide. And how did they go wide? It's on the internet. And this is when the issue of the parents still come in and moral. Even if the parents are not on internet inclined, you should always be friend to your kids.
Yeah.
Be
But
updated by
information.
Yeah, and I feel like,
I
sorry, and I
okay.
feel like there's a certain stage that your children get to. You need to start talking to them about their sexual orientation. It doesn't have to be the lady, also the guys. Start talking to them so that they can understand. Because you're talking about the fact that what if they see things that they feel like they want to press,
check
So once
videos
you
and
have
all.
the discussion with them, they know what is right and what is wrong not to. That is the way aspect of.
Okay, now you're bringing in communication. Now we are Africans. Now it's just recently that we're getting to understand this communication thing. Our parents as Africans back in the day don't even understand. Not that they don't understand, they don't even want to come
don't have
about
that
this
time.
talk of communication
Dayo,
or sitting and having a conversation.
It's
Something
good
else.
we're relating the 80s and the millennium parenting together. You see, in those days, there are some parties that play a major role in modeling the attitude, the moral aspect of a child. We talk about the parents, we talk about the neighborhood, we talk about the community, we even talk about the house of God. But these days,
All that is going to come. All that's going to come. We're
Okay.
actually going to take a short break, and when we come back, our conversation continues. Please stay tuned with us. Welcome back to the delivery room where we talk about trending issues, relationship issues. Today, we're looking at 21st century parenting and the 80s. We're comparing which one Gongo works for you exactly. And Raquel here, I think is a perfect one here because he is a parent, he has a child, and a lot of our questions might actually be going to him, but then others are coming in. 21st century parenting is a whole lot that we're getting to understand. It is quite different from the one we knew back then. Habib,
Yeah.
way back
Yeah.
in the 80s, our parents flogged living daylights
Yes.
out of us
Yes.
to instill discipline, they believe.
Yeah.
But does that actually work? Did that instill discipline into us?
Well, look at the quality of parents we now have, and now look at the quality of humans we now have. Now that were from that process of flogging, plenty flogging and plenty beating. Now, as it was, let's be sincere. Did it not turn out that we still turn out to be who we wanted to be, who we chose to be? So I'm not against. Of course, I'm purely African. I'm not against beating when it gets to a certain point. yeah, when it's extreme, when it is needed. But flogging a child every time he makes a mistake or is wrong, I don't think it is the solution. Of course, when it gets to the point that you keep beating, and the child does they will beat me, no, I'm used to it. And from my own experience, I had a lot of beating. And at some point, I didn't even send again. Yes, I didn't even send because, okay, you beat me. At some point, I stopped crying. I started taking it. Oh, yeah, beat me. And then I moved because I'm expecting it. So at that point, when the child already get that thick skin to flog him, the flogging becomes useless. He's still going to do whatever he wants to do.
So in essence, it doesn't bring about that discipline that the
I
parents
don't
are trying
think
to
it.
pass?
I don't think it did. It might when it's done sparingly, when it is done at a situation demands. Maybe the child has done something really huge and deserves beating. Yes, beat. But then it does not mean that everything he does you beat. No. There are times you talk, there are times you scold, there are times you even deprive the kid of whatever it is that is happy about. At that point, everything should be in
process.
How do I say it? Should be aggregated equally at different points in time. Not like you just beat, or you just speak punishment, or you just beat them, you just may I'll not give you money tomorrow, and then that is it.
So it's like having different things.
Yes,
that
there are
work
different
for
ways.
that child.
Yes, I think that is the best way to do it. And then some people would also say that the lack of flogging these days is what is allowing these kids to be what they are now. I don't totally agree to. I think that it is because parents are no longer ready to be full-time parents. Parents are distracted by by other things. Of course, the vicissitudes of life, trying to survive and all of that, especially in this Nigeria. So parents are distracted by so many other things.
So that's what's taking effect.
Yes.
Well, Nigel, I'm going to come to you.
Okay.
Right.
Let me just put in one or two things based on what you said. The first question is, who are the parents now? Those that are even parents now, are they even worth to be parents?
That's
yes, are they worth to be parents?
Once you get to the age of fathering,
it doesn't mean
giving birth to a child. You can give birth to a child.
Those that are even that we call parents now, are they worth to be called parents?
But are they not the products of those the 80s parents?
Yes, no, they are not the.
That means the 80s parenting has failed too.
Let me tell you, they didn't fail, because when we go to the field, you understand, those, if you are talking about the parents of the 80s, people that are parents now, we should be looking at people of 40, 30 something. But the highly out there now, you see even a child of 18, child of 19, 20 now claiming to be parents. Most of all these things, you see, all these things you read online, those that make comments or that come to give analysis, or these people we call influencers, they are just opportunists of the internet. Because they are giving verdict on, because they are giving points or they are giving view online, doesn't validate anything. Most of them are just opportunities that lack experience. You even see a mother of, many of them on the internet, bringing a child of 2 years, 3 years to come and check online. What kind of parent is that? You see, there are many pictures circulating online. You see them taking their child to party, giving them beer. You know, the people that we call parents now, are they even parents? That is the question.
For those
that is when we need the society, we need the government and everyone else to be
well,
on.
We're going to come. I'm talking about discipline, the flogging.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Does that instill
discipline? Flogging or no grant. Even the flogging, it just, to me, is a secondary. Because now, the first thing that is restricting parenting now, another one is even the law. Eye service.
To what extent?
Nepotism.
Of course.
Yes, because everyone now, every little thing, you really see someone scolding a child with word, everyone wants to trend. Immediately, you know, they put it online. And the backlash that the person is going to get is going to kill the morale of other parents. Yes. There are things that need to be put in place. Before you put something online, the internet has really helped to expose many immoral things, have helped to expose many things in the aspect of relationship, in every aspect of life. But yet, there must be moderation. If not that our government are so self-centered, the way they use in controlling the internet, this thing would have been so helpful. You understand? But the aspect of beating or no beating, no matter how you beat, it goes nowhere, and it affects child mentally, which I'm not going to support. There are other ways to correct a child, and it depends on how you
bottom line, Akel.
Yeah.
Those that were flogged are the ones that are parenting now.
No, it is not only highly of. It's not highly of them.
Some of them.
Hello, a child of 1990 is how old now? Over 30. A child of 2000 is over 20 now. Most of them are parents these days alone.
Yes, but they were brought up by.
They are talking from the 80s.
80s now. They are 40 above. These people you are seeing online, they are 20s. They are 30s that are claiming to be parents.
But they are parents. Of course, they are old enough to have kids.
And the content that goes online. So
you won't stop them because of that. Biology says that once you.
Yeah, we are not talking. Maybe we want to restrict the reproduction. We are just saying these people that are parents, are they even worthy to be parents?
Okay, now let's move on to Kenny, because Kenny has been here for a while now. Let's move on to Kenny. Let's talk about the societal failure of parenting, because we are seeing a whole lot, and this has brought about deliberation about the proper parenting. Just like Nakel said, these set of people that are even parents, are they worthy enough to be parents?
Yeah, I think Nakel has actually said most of the people that are parents now are not even worthy to be parents. You see someone of 19-year-olds already has a child, someone of 17. I have a lot of them in my place. You see a lot of, it's someone of 16, 17. You're having one child, you're having two child. It becomes a problem. To even take care of that child is a problem. Let's not even talk of having to raise that child the proper way, because you need to start looking for how to fend them. That is on your mind. You don't even know what they are doing, what they are going through in your home. You've left them to go and work from morning till night. By the time you come back, they've done a lot of things behind you that you don't know. And that is the sincere truth about it.
Okay. Yeah. So should parenting be delegated between fathers and mothers, if I'm to ask?
No, it's both the parenting has.
Where is the father even mother these days? When the high cost of it is even baby mamas, baby fathers. Exactly. Where are you delegating?
Exactly.
Who are those?
And
in the 80s, I'm sorry, when we are talking about the 80s, the 70s, we have two ends together. Even at the mention, and if you see those days, if the father is hot, the mother will be low. If the mother is cold, the father will be hot. But mostly the father is always the hot. If the father have gone to work and the child is misbehaving and the mother say, "Ma will reject my birthday," you will see correction. No, but these days, who is the mother? Most of them are even baby mama and baby dada. Even the mother don't even see. Maybe the mother is a single mother. Exactly. She get it to go and fetch for any means she want to fetch. You will see them even giving the child to one immature somebody they call brother at home, maybe under 17, under 18. And from there, that one has started mutilating the child. Let's say for a baby girl now, molesting the child. Before the child is 7, 8, they started sleeping with the child.
You asked about societal
influence, societal failure when it comes to parenting.
And that is, it is palpable, like it is obvious to everybody that I said it in one of our earlier editions, that the value is dropping, the quality of humans is dropping. So it will definitely manifest in many areas, most of our parenting. Now, look at, I always say that when I was in secondary school, we were mostly kids. Most of us boys don't even know anything. We just go play ball, and then you just notice this girl has stopped coming to school. Of course, being impregnated by men, of course. But then, I am saying that the quality of people that would impregnate a 16-year-old, a secondary school girl that is supposed to still be growing, the quality of people that would allow their own kids to even like go through that process and all of that, you know that the quality of humans, like I said, is I don't know, it's not like it used to be. People that are high on morals before are now losing guard because they have to eat, they have to survive. Survival is key, so you have to drop some other things you're supposed to. Also, lastly, another thing I want to look at is, let's look at even the quality of the people, of the parents in itself. Mm-hmm. When you see someone that the kid is growing up and you are trying to get the kid to speak English by force.
Okay.
Like, no, don't speak vernacular, speak English. There are some expressions, there are some things you say in that vernacular. I don't want to be specific to Yoruba, Igbo, or in your local language now, that the child would hold on to. But those expressions, you can't find them in English. So when you force your child to express themselves in a certain way, which they might not even be comfortable with, that is another thing. So you find out that even parents are trying to raise children according to what they have seen, according to their own self-esteem issues, according to their own weaknesses, according to their own problems.
Okay.
Not the way the child is supposed to be. The child is being groomed to be a threat to someone else's kids and all of that. So all of these issues would definitely play out in how parenting is done and how the kids that would later form the society would grow.
Okay, so we have a situation, we have a story they were working with, which is the CHRISLAND video that went viral this week, and a lot of people are asking, where did the parents go wrong? When did this girl get to learn this at this point? So exposure to social media. How do we correct this? How do we make this right? Because I believe a lot of things are learned from social media. Probably the things, I think I saw a post of someone that said it's a whole lot. Probably she had been abused from home, maybe, and she never said, or the parents never got to know. Maybe friends, influence of friends also could be another thing. And then social media, the last of it, encompassing all. So exposure to social media. Again, I'm going to go to you, Nakel.
That I will still go back to where I talk about the parents and the kids. I mean, togetherness and openness. The first question is, how did the girl get the phone? If the mother is exposed or enough to buy an Android phone for their child, that means they are using an Android phone. Yeah, they might not be experienced enough on how to control the phone, but at the same time, you buy a phone for your child. How is the child subscribing for the internet? Yeah, those are the questions you have to raise. If the child is, does that mean the child is sourcing for money somewhere? If your child, and if they are not the one that bought the phone for the child, who bought the phone?
Yeah.
Who is financing the internet payment? All these things are what we should
I want to say something to that.
Okay.
Right. You know that. Let's look at the class of the people involved in this story. CHRISLAND is not a school for regular people.
It doesn't matter. They still take money to the market to buy that phone.
No, of course. I'm saying that the people that would take their kids to CHRISLAND are not people that are struggling. Let's be sincere. So that means that she's from a comfortable home.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then if you look from the other videos online, you see she was doing videos in their sitting room. She has a ring light. She has a phone. That means the parents know
they are aware
that this girl is doing this. Now, you might not, we are not there with them. We don't know what transpires between amongst them at home. Maybe it might be like, mommy, I want to be an actress in future. And then, of course, this is how you put yourself out there to be seen. That is what the mom thinks.
The mom thinks, no. You might be right.
I'm saying all those videos that people are using to bash the girl, like, look at the 13-year-old doing this. I don't have a problem with that. Of course, what she did is probably wrong, but then she's still a minor. She's still learning. She has probably picked up wrong information.
Yeah, we are not talking
being condemned is not the next thing to do. I don't accept the fact that people are bashing.
We are not
condemning the parents in this case means that most times when you give a child a small chance, they tend to go overboard.
Yes.
And then maybe they've not been able to check. Maybe they just see how
that's where they fail.
I don't think it's
parental control. That is
I don't think
it's failure.
It's failure. No.
So who is to be blamed? It is school to be blamed.
You can't judge a girl just that video and say the girl is a failure.
It's not one. We are not talking about one video, 2 videos, 3 videos. It's numbers of videos. Okay. Abib, I want to ask you a question. If we can't blame the parents, who are we to blame now? Who do you want us to blame?
See, I'm not blaming anybody.
So it's a mistake from us all.
No. We are not even supposed to blame.
So what are we supposed to do?
Why do we have to blame?
Blame should come in from every angle.
For them to know they can have sense, who are we to blame?
Why are we going to blame? Why don't we just talk about solutions and talk about...
Yeah, the solution will be there, but at the same time, if you don't blame, correction cannot be made.
If you blame, it means that you're condemning people.
All right, so Kenny, let's talk about the role of schools. Because some people say, going by this viral video, that the child spends, I think she's a boarder, and spend more time in school. So what is the contribution of schools in raising the right value children?
Wow, there are three things that actually determine the foundation of a child, or how a child grows up to be. That's the parent, the community, and the child itself. You see, the community aspect is where the school comes in. Because once the child leaves home, then the child is in school. So there's a lot, you don't just instill knowledge, you instill moral, you instill a lot of things. So, and I feel like if you're looking at the aspect of CHRISLAND, I don't feel like they needed to be blamed on that. Yes, they have their part, they can fault them on some certain things, but they don't have to hold them responsible. So for me, that is where I stand. Of course, they have their own roles to play. They will be penalized. They need to check where they've made mistakes, where they need to make errors, because we have to check a lot of schools today. They are making the same error that CHRISLAND is making. So every one of these schools need to create new policies in line.
Can have a better society. Abib, I'm going to ask you, what's the role of religion in raising our children?
Okay, before we get to religion, I remember, taken from what Kenny said, I remember in social studies, they taught us there are agents of socialization. I think there are 4: family, school, mass media. I can't remember the 4th one.
Probably society.
Maybe the society, yeah. So, and what we were made to understand is that the family is the most important unit, right? So, whatever it is that goes on within the house, within that unit, is going to reflect outside. If that unit is dysfunctional, it is going to be dysfunctional outside. There is nothing you want to do about it. Of course, schools can help. The other agents can help. But then, if that unit is not strong enough, it's going to be like that. So, religion is supposed to be what guides people how to live, how to live.
Have the fear of God.
With the fear of God. And then, if you want to say religion is a way out, even children of clerics turn out some way. So it is not black and white. It is not, you can't say, okay, instill religion, instill the Bible, instill the word of God, and it does not guarantee anything. It is still left to the child, right? And it is still left to what the other agents of socialization also do to the kid. Because you can teach your kid one thing at home, can get to school, something else, goes on social media, which is the mass media, something else. So there's a confusion. And I think that all of these units need to align.
Exactly, that was what I said.
All of these units need to align that, okay, this is what a child should learn. This is what a child should be. This is the direction a child should grow towards, or teaching, or the learning process, or even the faith process, which is religion, should lean towards. Then everybody works towards that. But when they keep contrasting, there's going to be a problem.
There will be confusion with the child. Now, Nakel, my last question to you. Government role in ensuring the right value children. Now, somebody said the Nigerian government are not doing enough in regulating what is being posted on social media. How true is this? Or what can the government do to ensure that we don't have a repeat of what happened with this CHRISLAND issue? Because if it hadn't gone online, if it hadn't come on social media, a lot of us wouldn't have known. Probably it would just happen underneath in the school, probably on the WhatsApp group of the school, and then a lot of people would get stressed.
Yeah, thank you. I think the government have to be on their stand and start taking some drastic measures in the kind of content that goes online. We have many countries that control their medias. And people will start taking government serious if the government are not so selfish in doing or controlling all these things. You understand? They should start by sanctioning the kind of content people put outside. Look at the board that control music. You understand? They communicate with radio station. Immediately you made mention of some sensitive word You see, they don't play that music online. Now, online, immediately you post something that is immoral online and you know is
against their rules.
Is against. We know government cannot totally control this, but they need to start using some people. It's not even only regulation, because if you are not in Nigeria, you might go outside and do that, and you see some people, they come here, they still use it as a proud content. Yes, sir. Government now need to start taking people as a scapegoat, and the society must be ready
to accept it,
to support the government. Everything has to be plain. And again, when we're talking about government, in the way they respond to issue, sometimes I'm just so sorry. That is why we are where we are, if I'm permitted to use that word. The way government respond to this, especially this Christian issue, and the last what is this boy? The doing. Immediately something happen, you see the government saying they close down this school. Who are these people that is overseeing all these educational affairs? Because I don't understand. Now you say you close CHRISLAND, you close that school. Is that the way to respond to issues? If they go to all schools in Nigeria, believe me, 99 schools in Nigeria are going to be closed, because this thing goes on. Now, this is the question of what is the role of educational board? Exactly. What I expect the government to have done. Okay, this thing has come up. Pick appoint 2 or 3 people from your educational board. Let them take over the school. Why the principal suspect in that school, or people that are owed to be sanctioned, the principal or the proprietor or the teacher or the whosoever you think is responsible, that ought to be in charge of that thing. Pick them up to face whatever they are being charged for. Then the people you select from the educational board, let them be the supervisor of that school for that time. You might put the school under probation, okay, for 3 months. Now, bring people from the educational board, let them be overseeing the school. It's not that anything you want to close the school. If so be it, that means many things will be closed in this country. I don't even know how they respond to issue in this country. The government is not.
On a final note, I'd like to talk about one of the things Nakel raised, which is about social media, regulating social media. It is, some people would say that you don't regulate, you don't keep people short, let people do anything they want.
Because, sorry, I had to cut you in here. When the Twitter issue happened after the NSAS, and then the government said they are going to restrict or regulate all that social media handles, Facebook and all that, there was reaction that they are limiting freedom of expression.
But then you'd find out that in some places that there are rules that guide social media use, especially for kids. In China, although you say China is not a democracy, but in China, even though TikTok is a Chinese invention, there is the time limit where kids are allowed to go on it. There is a time limit where kids are allowed to go on social media. There are other things that are used to engage the kid. I think the government, taking a cue from what Nakel said, is not just deliberate enough about the development of the Nigerian child. And then we are in a place where we are choosing should I say technology over other things, and it's supposed to be a little bit of everything.
Thank you, Habib. Just to add to what Bib had just said, when I was talking about controlling or sanctioning, it is very easy. Let's take a scenario, for example, a parent during all this BB Nigeria, they always watch, and you are watching with your child, you take a video showing the child watching the program, and you put it online. Very easy. That is bad parenting. Pick up the mother, or you even take the child away. That is just it. If all this correction are start making, people will see the necessity. But what is the society going to do?
But that is true, because even BB Nigeria says rated 18.
Nigeria even understand that.
So a lot of correction has to go into place. A lot of correction has to come into place. We have people who are accidental parents, like you said. We have people who have no idea of what to even instill in their children, because what you have is what you're passing on to the next generation. And until some people or some parents get to know that their children represent their lineage, and what they pass on to their children is what is going to come through the other ones who represent them, who carries the name, then maybe, just maybe, would have a change of parenting and thinking, oh, it's 21st century, it's social media time, nobody can restrict me, nobody can do anything. Thank you guys for coming into the studio today. Appreciate you, Nakel, Abib, Kenny. Thank you so much. You've shared your experience, you've shared your own opinion when it comes to 80s. How do you think we can work on parenting, especially in this generation, because decadence actually taking place a whole lot? For your comments, reaction, observation, everything you have to give us as feedback, please drop it at our comment section at Delivery Room NG on social media. That's the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, across board. Drop your comments, drop your reactions. We'd love to hear from you and get your feedback. Till we'll come your way again. Please, let's work on our parenting. Let's raise the next generation to be the right moral value people. My name remains Semidayo Anthony. Bye for now and have a wonderful time.